Sikumar on the call.
Yeah,
Please, please on the call. Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much, Gloria, for calling my attention to that. Okay. Dr. Sasikumar TP is a renowned space scientist, a mathematician, educationist, and spiritual mentor with extensive expertise in photogrammetry, remote sensing, image processing. His diverse academic background includes degrees in MSc, MPhil, PhD, LLB, MBA, and MSc, making him a multidisciplinary scholar. Dr. Sasikumar has held prestigious positions such as Professor of Practice at ICFAI University, Chancellor at the National Education Forum, and Honorary International Director at FISWA Humanity International Royal Council. He has been deeply involved in promoting Indian knowledge systems, IKS, and has mentored students in disciplines like Vedic studies, astrology, and Himalayan meditation. His leadership experience organizations, including the Global Sustainable Council, All India Sustainable Development. Sasikumar is also a prolific author, having received numerous awards for his work, including the Golden Scribbler Award 2024. Dr. Sasikumar is a visionary leader, and of course, he has books with a wide range of topics such as the digital way, parenting with Ayurveda, and mind matter. Ladies and gentlemen, join me welcome Dr. Sasikumar, whose influence has extended across continents. We are glad to have you, Dr. Sasikumar, as we give you the floor. Thank you.
Namaskaram, greetings from India, Hyderabad. Thank you, Anani. Thank you, my sister Gloria, for this invitation. A walkthrough education, a beautiful title, discussing great things. 3 speakers spoke to me earlier. We had the sessions. We are discussing about the inclusive background, how to create, or how is our background. That's what most of the people, and then finding out what is wrong with that. My intention is to look forward. Let us think about what can be done. What can be done, as in the introduction told, empowering, collaborating, community improvement, long-term investment. These are all what was told at the beginning. Critical thinking, problem solving, skill development. DrTPS, myself, as an MBA professor of management, I created a formula called P performance is equal to S skill plus attitude A plus opportunity O. So what we are looking for is the skill, a great attitude, a change in attitude, an opportunity which is to be created. I'm sure we are meeting here not because United Nations wanted, not because government wanted. We are volunteers to work. But I'm sure none of these webinars and conferences and discussions can solve any of these problems unless on the ground we are collaboratively in working. None of the complaints against United Nations are going to be recorded, going to them to change the policies. So all these are waste of time. Let us have, then you must be thinking, why DrTPS is here? Am I wasting my time? No. Such conferences have given me a lot of opportunities to interact with the people, which made them to talk to me, probably make a collaborative process, see what can be done on the ground. There is no global problem. Somebody says what happens in Philippines, somebody happens in India, what happens in Africa is happening in America, it's one and the same. No. Even in India, what happens in the north, east, west, south cannot be copied from one place to another place. Local. That is why when somebody says we have a problem in the town, but the problem in the village is entirely different. And understand, we are talking about what is the United Nations SDG as a great discussion. You know when it started, SDG started in 2015. Now after so many years, we are discussing what is that SDG is telling. Before my birth, from 1960 to 1970, a decade program by United Nations, which is called United Nations Development Program. If you compare this and that, you will see it is one and the same. After 45 years, we are repeating same and saying we need quality education, we need improvement in education, we want inclusive education, we don't want gender inequality. Imagine we are discussing about what happened 45 years back, again repeating the same thing. And we present, and in education most of the people keep talking about 21st century education. What a stupid, foolish thing we are talking. Century is 100 years. And just before that, the earlier presenter said education moves every moment, every day, every week, it has to be updated. And somebody next presents that it is 21st century education promises. 21st century started 25 years back. What we have seen 2 years back is not what we are seeing today. We need a quality change in the thought process, the attitude. It is not Google solutions, copying from somewhere, making presentations, blah, 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 blah is not going to solve problems. I'll tell you, people have to work on the ground. How do you work on the ground? Recently, I was there in Sri Lanka. What I did, maybe 20 years back, I wrote a book which is called Adaptive Learning. Maybe the only one book in India on adaptive learning. When I have to go to Sri Lanka, I did not talk about my book which I wrote 20 years back. I rewrote a book on adaptive learning for third decade of 21st century. Third decade of 21st century. We have to rewrite the solutions. Because what I wrote 20 years back is not applicable today. That was on Google platform, internet learning, all that what I spoke. But today MOOC is very common. Massive open online courses is very common. Anybody can do this at any point of time, anywhere in the world, if you are connected with the internet. So I created changing the adaptive learning in a new process. But that is a general solution. That is not good enough. I rewrote it for Sri Lanka. Before going there to suggest what they are supposed to do, I rewrote the book with the Sri Lankan people as an associate. You have a problem. Let us write a book together as a solution for your problems. That's what I do. And go there and see what is the problem. The problem is education has to have two aspects. One is life-giving education. I must earn money to live in this world. The another one is life-making education. I have to be a human being, I have to be a social being. I am not an individual, I am a citizen of a country. So I've got great responsibility. I am a citizen of the global world. I have a wonderful responsibility there. So it is not physical, it is not emotional, it is not intellectual, it is not social. It's a spiritual development which we are supposed to look at. Let us work together. Let us work together starting from the basic education. We have great things to do. I am not discarding what people spoke, but we are not looking at how life can become harmonious. SDG is not sustainable development goal for DrTPS. When I wrote a book, I wrote Sanatana Dharma goals. What India had thousands of years back. If you read this, exactly what is the SDG says. So I wrote Sanatana Dharma goals. What is the duty of individual in this world? And we have to, the teachers working manual for the 3-2-1 world. We must change the world for the 3-2-1, third decade of 21st century. What is the problem? We are not able to solve the problems of adolescents in the mind control and mind management. Attitude is not able to set. If attitude is set, skill and opportunity will become so simple for them. We need a beautiful mind matter. Understand parents and teachers. Today schools are, all the government schools are for the government. Where do you get money? Where do you get salary? It has become a salaried job. For the parents, it is a private institution. We have private institution for parents, government institutions for teachers, but we don't have good institution for children. So we need to create a student friendly, child friendly, starting from the younger age. So I created a system in which the children, not even after taking birth, before taking birth, it has to be taken care of. From pregnancy time, what care has to be given to generate beautiful children, where they will become nice children, where they can learn anything and do anything. Only one book I wrote, which is called Grandmothers, like a comfortable situation where children are so comfortable and cozy with no furnitures, no uniforms, no tight securities, only stories, learning with the play. That is where logical reasoning, analytical skill, mathematical ability, all these can be developed. Recently in the COVID time, I was teaching in a university the same process. So what do I want? I want to create a early childcare education, at least with a beautiful system wherein we can have the ambitious beginning. Starting is good, probably life is good. And I wrote one book. It's not one book, A to Z, which I cannot bind in a single book. I put it into 4 books, and it talks about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. A to Z, 26 chapters, beautiful book with 500 and odd pages. This becomes a handbook for teachers. And these handbooks, I am not going to sell it, I am going to distribute it. Use this as a training program for children, because we believe up to grade 7, up to 12 years, up to they reach the teenage, they are supposed to learn their culture, not international culture. Grow gradually to understand what is happening in the international world. Otherwise, today what is happening? They are losing interest and their love towards their own culture, their own community, their own land is lost. They are all looking about what is happening in the global world and trying to make all disturbance in the place where they are living. So we need a physical, emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual growth, well oriented, well thought out, on the ground. I serve the community around me. I go to different places, stay in some schools for 5 days and 10 days, change the style in which the teaching happens and learning happens, go to the other part of the world. This is what I'm doing every day for last so many years. Luckily, the discussions have become so common that globally I am able to speak now. So building foundation, expanding horizons, value-based education, advanced academics, specialized learning, academic rigor with a lot of applications to knowledge on the ground, which gives them a good life, earning life, and making fame and becoming passion for education, which makes them not temporarily happy, but a longer term happiness. That is called bliss. Let us have a sustainable world where everybody can enjoy in harmony. And that harmony is what I believe most essential. The life without conflict, in harmony in the 3-2-1 world. Namaskaram and thank you for hosting me. And I'll be very glad to work with any one of you at any part of the world as volunteer with a lot of social service mind and attitude in me. Thank you so much.
Wow. This is mind-blowing. There is never an end to perspectives. Thank you so much, Doctor, for this insightful session. This has been a cultural perspective on the application, the practical application of the SDGs in our classrooms. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Sasikumar. One of the takeaways I got from his presentation is that a cross-cutting education that begins with a cultural orientation where students are at harmony with themselves, their inner beings, other humans, and their physical environment through the age-old art of storytelling. Wow, this is incisive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
All right. Please, do we have any comments? Do we have any question for our doctor before we invite the next speaker? I'm waiting. Do we have any comments, any addition, anything we want to say to validate, to give more illumination to what Doctor has just done? Shared.
Gloria should have something to say, my sister Gloria.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have something to say, but maybe I should wait till the end of the session so that we can allow everybody to speak. Yeah. So thank you.
All right. It's
Thank
okay.
you,
So
Sam.
on this
Namaste.
Namaste.